Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. Today, as you can see, we're back with our PZL 37 Abyss 1 Polish medium bomber by IBG Models, which is kit number 72512, which you kindly chose for me in the most recent You Choose My Next build, where we put 4 Polish aircraft in front of the camera and I let you guys pick which one was going to build, and this is the one you picked, so this is the one we're building. What more can I say? So in the last episode, we put the interior together of the fuselage, and whew, it was kind of hard. So we've painted the interior. I've actually put the floor in now as well. Got some bombs in. We've got the cockpit all set up. We've got the top gun here. We've got the bottom ventral turret, ventral gun here. And we're going to close this up right now. That's what we're going to do next. And then we're going to put the wings together, which we've prepared. Oh, well look, here's one I made earlier. I've been practicing, obviously. And we're going to do the same with the tail, and we're going to put the engine on as well, and this bomb bay in. There is some photo etch that's supposed to go into the nacelles. This is mainly a sort of floor section. It's supposed to extend all the way around here, and there is supposed to be a PE box in there as well, but I've broken that. I've broken the edges off the rear section of this, and I've just given up on it, to be quite honest with you. I just really PE is just a bit of a cluster if you know what I mean. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of Tamiya cement on the inside here. I'm going to hold it together, and then I'm going to put extra thin on the exteriors. So that's what we're going to do right now. And while I'm holding it, I'm probably just going to turn the camera off for an edit, and I'll come back to you and we'll move on to the next bits, because obviously this is a little bit kind of tricky. So here we go. It's going together. I have actually taken the paint off the interior parts where it goes. And it's going to go together like that. So I'm going to stick you on pause, and we'll come back in a minute and I'll throw some extra thin on it. See you in a minute. Right, so we've put a couple of rubber bands on. I'm going to put some extra thin on now. And I'm going to put this to one side and move on to some of the other stuff. And we'll come back to it a bit later on. Or maybe we'll go on pause again. I'm not quite sure. I'm just making this up as I go along. Can you notice? Should be pretty obvious, really. How has this gone together so far? The parts go together pretty much like a dream. Although I am having some issues, probably more to do with my own and my cheap cutters, with the sprue gates, which are kind of chunky, I must admit. And causing a few little problems. Apologies for the nails. I've spilt dark iron XF84 all over myself today, and I can't get it out. So we've got a bit of an issue here. There we go. That's gone together nice. Let's get some glue on it. Yeah, a lot of these parts go together almost. It almost feels like Lego bricks sometimes. But yeah, like I said, sprue gates, I've had a couple of problems. You might be able to see a few of them where I actually made a mistake and had to go with the polisher on the Dremel thing. I think that might work in a bit. And I kind of took a bit of a chunk out of some of these, so I'm going to have to do a bit of filling, I reckon, at some point. That's going to be a bit of an issue, I reckon, that bit there. We'll leave that till later. I'll do that off camera. Right, so let's get on to these fins. And I'll try and show you how well these things go together now. It just goes in there like that. And it just slots in. And it's almost like you don't have to put any glue on it. Look at that. That is cool. Right, so we're going to throw a bit of extra thin in the hingy area. And I'm going to put a little bit on this, just on there. You can't see me, can you? It's the only problem doing these things. I could see then, but you couldn't see. And now that I've moved the camera down so you can see, the camera's in the goddamn way. Right, so we got that together. Where's my guide piece? There's the other one, there it is, right, okay, so. This bit goes in there, so we'll whap a bit of extra thin. And there, probably too much. Look at that. That's perfection. And then this piece is going to go on the other side. Put a bit of extra thin in there, see what happens. Obviously, when you're making one of these, you'll probably take much more time over it than I am. I'm always under pressure with this damn camera. And that's that. Done. Let's hope that's set straight. So now we're going to move on to these wings. And these wings are fun. So again, everything just fits. It just fits together. So I'm going to put some, this is how I did the other one. How did I do the other one? I forget now. Oh yeah. I'm going to put some Tamiya cement here. Just a smidgen. And I'm going to put some along here. And some in there. A little bit on there. A little bit here. And I'm going to whack them together. And then I'll put some extra thin on as well, just for good measure. Just look at how nicely that goes together. There's no locator pins on this. But the other one went together like a dream, with a bit of sort of, just a bit here, and just a bit there, and just adding a little bit every now and again. And it just goes together perfect. So you can see here we need to put a bit on our engine nacelle. And I'll put a bit of extra thin along this leading edge later on when I'm done. But that's great. So next little job, we're going to put this in. Now this is one of the issues that I had with these gates, because you've got two here. There's loads of them inside. There was two there. There's two there, and it was just like, well, crying out loud, you didn't need that many, surely. But it goes together well. What more can I say? I should have put that in earlier. But I can still put it in now. I should have gone in first. This is what happens when you think you know what you're doing. So I'm just going to use some standard stuff for this, because as you can tell, I'm not really following instructions, which is really a bad thing to do, but so that goes in there, and this intentionally sticks out and it kind of acts as a sort of wing spar sort of thing. So that's in there. This bit here goes on there like that. See, look at that. Look how well it goes together. Beaut. So that goes there. Good and PE. Oh, did I? No, I didn't. I haven't cleaned these up. You're gonna have to go and pause for a minute. Okay, so we're back again. And this bit, ooh, goes in there. Still got a bit extra on that. We can get that off. Needs to go in here, like so. Got an aileron to go on here. Where's it gone? I'm going to have to pause you there because I am going to have to hold this for a second. Okay, so we got that in place. Still got a bit of movement on it, but I think we'll be okay. This little corner bit goes in there. Whoop. Just like that. And this little piece is a little bit fiddly, so I'm going to do that off camera, but that just goes in there. So we'll put that to one side and we'll do the engine, the gubbins. We've got a piece of Fuselage which basically just fits snug inside. I've already pre-painted this, obviously, like so. And then we have the engine, which has to go a certain way up, I think. Yeah, it does, yeah. And it needs to be with... Let's put these other bits on first, that's the easiest way to do it. This one goes on here. Or does it? That one goes on there. Obviously, this is not a tutorial. I am not suggesting that you build models in the cack-handed way that I do. This is just how I do it. And then this bit goes on the bottom there. Oh, yeah, okay. Come here. Use tweezers. Yep. Could do. So that's the bottom. And that little pin needs to be at the top. And that, look how tight that is. You almost don't have to glue it. So I'm not going to glue it. And I'm just going to fiddle around with that and I'll glue it when I'm finished, basically. Which is kind of like now. So there we go. We have two wings together, which are ready to be glued in place. They will be glued in place by the time the next video comes together, I think. Because I need to do a bit of remedial work on this. And then we'll be moving on to, oh my God, putting all the Bombay doors on. And yeah, we'll put the wings on and we'll put the Bombay doors on and we'll put the tail on the next film. And because then, you know, it's mainly there then, isn't it, I suppose. So we seem to have everything kind of about right. And hopefully in a couple of days we'll be ready to throw some primer on it with the beautifully coloured PZL carrots that we've already built. Let's put there with pride of place. So there'll be another video up shortly as well that's kind of related to this, because I've also got the Mr. Craft version in the stash. So I'm going to do a kit comparison video and look at the differences between the two. I know a lot of people really don't like Mr. Craft because they just basically produce other people's kits. But this is actually a reproduction of a ZTS plastic kit that I bet, you know, it's not a Hella or a Zvezda anyway, so it's kind of interesting. That'll be up in a couple of days probably, maybe when we finish this one here. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. We're drinking Tyskie tonight. We've had a couple of them, you might be able to tell. And please do check out some of the other videos and a few of the other videos from the YouTube's My Next Build, with some other interesting Polish kits that we did what's in the box kit reviews for. So as always, be seeing you.